Hello again, and welcome to A Really Good Podcast, a GNN, a Geek News Now exclusive podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan, and I have my best friend with me here as we break down the best entertainment from the 80s and the 90s. Let me bring on my best friend, Josie Haney. Josie, what's up?
Dude, you make my heart like 10 times larger every time you call me best friend. You realize, not to get all sappy on you, but it's almost been 4 years,
Yep.
motherfucker. Like, we've been, I think it was like mid-March.
Mid-March.
And then we planned the show for like 2 weeks and then launched it end of March, I believe.
Yep.
I smoke a lot of weed, so things are not my thing.
A lot of sensei.
But,
oh my goodness.
I'm excited. I found a list. I think I found a good way for us to stay on topic and talk about the best movies of the 80s.
Okay.
The 50 best 80s movies.
Okay.
So I'm going to just kind of go down it. I'm going to let y'all know right now, we have set a 15-minute time limit because we want to go over 80s movies, TVs, 90s movies, TVs. And we're going to set a 15-minute time limit for each. So me and Will are going to stick to that the best we can.
Yes, we will stick to that the best.
So number 50, I don't recognize. I'm going to say it and see if you do. If not, we'll move on. Lady Hawk, 1985.
No.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Broderick, romantic fantasy.
I don't remember that.
Okay, moving on. 49 is an 80s classic, and we have to talk about this because it's going to lead into my rant, and Will knows this rant very well. Batman, the original, 1989. Michael Keaton, one of the greatest Batmans to ever do it.
The greatest Batman.
I need him to play Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond. Give it to me.
It'll happen.
I have been saying this on Geek Gauntlet on multiple shows for years. And I believe we're the closest right now that we've ever been to it.
Yes.
So hopefully give it to me.
I think
take my money.
I think what made that movie so good was his performance as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Because if you go back and you look at it, you can make Val Kilmer was a great.
I would argue Val Kilmer is the greatest Batman.
Yeah, he's the greatest Batman, but not the best
roles.
Not best Bruce Wayne.
It is two separate roles. It is very different. Because you could take all the people who played it and rate each portrayal differently. Christian Bale would get a different ranking for his Batman than he would his Bruce Wayne.
Right.
I would say Michael Keaton would probably be. He's definitely number one Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
He would be number one, number two Batman. So, and then what also makes that movie great? I mean, Joker played by Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
Was in the list of the many of Jokers. Heath Ledger, just because he's so crazy. Again, each Joker that's been portrayed has been a different Joker.
Exactly.
The 1960s Joker was the Clown Prince.
Yes.
The Jack Nicholson 80s Joker was the gangsta.
Yep.
Your Heath Ledger was just anarchy. Just anarchist.
How you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Affleck, top of the heap.
Affleck is number one Batman. Is that what this is being said? I'm looking at the list, not the comments. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. No. Come on.
You know what though? He didn't do a bad job, because the one thing I will say, with the way things are pronounced nowadays, he did a good job in showing Batman's dark side. You didn't really see that.
I mean, it was the first portrayal of the Batman that kind of leaned a little bit more on the
darker side, a little bit more of
still a
the
little closer to killing.
right, a little bit more the vigilante side, which is why it's Bruce Wayne. He was fine, but as Batman, he brought that darkness to it that nobody else really brought
I have
into
not
it.
seen it, but I know you have. What did you think of Pattinson?
See, I didn't like him.
No,
As Cat calls him, Hot Topic Batman. I didn't like him. But you also have to realize too, he played pretty much year one Batman, so that'd be a little bit different. But
he was year one, and it was meant to highlight more of Detective Batman.
Right, and that's why I wasn't crazy about it. But it was okay. But I think the Batman before him were a lot better, and that's kind of disappointing because he had the blueprint right there in front of him from what he could have done.
We spent a lot of time on Batman because we could spend hours, and we will probably do an entire Batman episode talking about all the Batman movies.
We could talk hours, hours on Batman.
Number 48, Fame. I want to live forever.
D.B. Allen.
I'd never seen it, so.
Oh, Fame was great. Fame was great. It that was the first movie. Because I always didn't really think of dance like that until Fame, until I saw Fame. Then all of a sudden, whoa! All the movies that came after it, this made sense. Damn it. What happened?
I don't think The Hardwood has a producer.
All
right, what's the next movie? Hang on. Rain Man.
I only saw that once.
I saw it a long time ago. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Rain Man was different. Rain Man was completely different. Still good, but it was a little bit of difference for that time, for that time frame, that time period. It was different. I enjoyed it, but it was different.
Agreed. And I don't remember a lot about it. I know it was gambling, Tom Cruise, which I mean just about every 80s movie
that was out there. It's a little bit different though. What else you got on your list?
Sorry, I'm doing a list while trying. If you don't know, me and Will run a sports network. And I am trying to avert crisis right this minute and work this show because, yes. Baby Boom, don't know it. Diane Keaton, 1987.
No, I didn't see it.
Lost Boys.
Yep, saw that. That was good.
Long before
saw that.
Twilight
Hell yeah, that was good.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this comedy horror film updated vampires for the modern age in an edgy, innovative way.
And this was one movie because I normally don't like shows that kind of depend on kids, kind of like Digimon. The Digimon are great, but I can't stand the Digidestin. But these kids are different. These kids were fun. Yeah, it was still a scary movie because you're dealing with vampires, but they were fun and and they were dedicated to their. Hey, we gotta kill them. We gotta get them. So I thought that was kind of cool too.
Next movie. Beverly Hills Cop. Now, something tells me, Will, this has got to be probably one of your favorite movies.
I've seen all three of them. Just straight gold. It was a straight gold.
I mean, did Eddie Murphy in the 80s not give straight gold?
It was straight gold. Oh, I'm gonna say something that we'll talk about its own show soon about 80s music, but some of his music from back then, nah, I didn't like. But from the movie side, I loved it. The first two were good. The last three, the last one, the third was kind of campy, but the first two were excellent. They were really good. And to see his relationship grow with his boss in the first one, as you see him in Detroit, and his boss was just like, "You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that." It was funny to see, and that was classic Eddie. Yeah, there's
Oh my god, it would have been a totally different movie. It wouldn't have been a comic. There's no way you make Beverly Hills Cop comedy with Stallone in it. There's
Oh,
no way.
and then you had Bridget Nielsen, boy. Oh my goodness, in that movie. Woo! Tall drink of water. But it was a great movie. The cast was good. The cast was great. I thought the cast was done well. Great movie. Great movie.
All right. Broadcast news. Did you ever watch that?
Never saw that one.
I've heard of it. Don't ever watched it. Aliens.
Yes.
Aliens. Sigourney Weaver.
That's her claim to fame.
I mean, yeah, her breakout role and biggest role probably, other than maybe, Avatar.
See, yeah, you might be right. I
really
got a couple.
loved her in Avatar.
I got a couple. Right in 1980, Airplane.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually, because I bet that's on here. I'm going to scroll down. We're only in the 40s. I'm going to kind of blow through these next few.
Okay.
All right. Bill and Ted's Extra Adventure. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Never Ending Story. I mean, child classic. I never watched it, but childhood classic for a lot of people. The Thing. Blue Velvet. Purple Rain. Purple Rain. Purple Rain.
Yes, Lord.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Man, that's a serious classic. Serious classic.
Mystic Pizza.
Short Round, boy. Y'all don't forget about Short Round.
Mystic Pizza.
Yep.
Terminator.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be back. Love
yeah.
me some Terminator. I was a huge Terminator 2 fan.
You know, with the way tech is going now, SkyTech might not be too far behind.
Oh my God. You're talking. Oh, dude, not the show for it, but I think about that all the time with how close we are to AI. And I mean, AI exists.
Yeah.
So
we're
really you're
close.
Now to the point you can down an AI friend on your phone.
Yep. Oh, Gig and I agree.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Heck yeah. Ishtar, greatest 80s movie. I'm gonna have to agree with Ishtar. I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Son of a bitch. Well, looks like no hardwood tonight. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep. Freddy. That's a whole different.
I mean, that launched an entire genre almost, because like without like A Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm sure like Halloween is probably on here at some point too, you don't get the horror genre.
Nope. At least not the way it's constructed now.
All right. So Die Hard.
Hell yeah. And yes, the first one was a Christmas movie.
No,
I'm going to put that on the GNN Greats page and see what they think.
Is that a poll? Is that a poll we can do on
put
GNN?
That on there. I got to get you on that page. I got to put you on that page.
You do need to put me on that page. But yes. Can we get that as our first official poll right here and now? First official poll. And you know what? This needs to run through Christmas if you can. I don't know if you can do that. But it needs to run. You know what? No. I want this for our Christmas show. We're going to do a whole month of Christmas in December. So, you know what? For the month of November, post this poll, Will. Is Die Hard a freaking Christmas movie?
The first
I say
one,
no.
yeah, I say yes.
I say no.
Yes.
Will says yes. I say no.
The freaking Christmas movie.
We're in.
The Geeking Out podcast, Wes Craven master. You know what? I think. You think Wes Craven was underrated?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was very.
As someone who just watched all the first 4 screams, because I'm not a huge horror fan. I love those. Those are one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah.
And Craven in those, I mean, he rewrote horror.
Yep.
He gave it another life. Like I talked about how there wouldn't be Halloween and all of that. If there wasn't that, it wouldn't be Scream. But if there's not Scream, there's not still a horror craze.
Oh yeah. He done brought up Lethal Weapon on me. Yes, sir.
We just mentioned Lethal Weapon. We just talked about Lethal Weapon.
Yes, sir. Very good.
Karate
very
Kid.
Good. Yeah.
The Outsiders, 9 to 5.
Wax on, wax off.
Ghostbusters, Terms
Wax
of
on,
Endearment, because we're reaching the end of our time frame. All right, top 20. Here we go. All right, no, top 25.
Okay.
So 25 is Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about one of the iconic horror movies. Risky Business.
I remember that.
No Tom Cruise without Risky Business.
That's right.
John Hughes classic in Pretty in Pink.
Mm-hmm.
22 is Stand By Me.
Remember
I
that
don't
movie?
think I've ever seen all that.
Remember
Top
that
Gun
movie?
just got a remake or a sequel, not a remake.
Sequel. Very good stuff.
Blade Runner, the original.
Yep. Remember Blade Runner? Yep.
Say Anything with John Cusack.
That I did not see.
E.T. Phone Home.
E.T. Phone Home. That man made what? Reese's? Like a household name.
Footloose.
That movie made Reese's a household name.
Oh yeah. Kick off your Sunday shoes. Talk about a actor that like had a huge blow up in the 80s, and that was Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
I bet it's not on this list, but freaking Tremors.
Yeah, Tremors. Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Supposedly might be getting a remake or sequel to that. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. That every time I see that movie, I think about you for some reason.
I don't understand, but okay.
You'll be playing hooky from school.
I mean, yes. I actually had to make up hours because I skipped so much school in senior year.
I knew it.
I skipped so much school senior year.
I knew it. I just knew it.
The Shining.
Yep, remember Shining.
Color Purple.
Yep, remember Color Purple.
Where Whoopi Goldberg. Do the Right Thing.
Yep.
Spike Lee Joint.
Yep.
Princess Bride. I just saw this recently, last year or earlier this year, maybe. But great movie. I was actually very surprised. Rob Reiner did a great. I mean, this was an awesome movie.
Awesome movie.
Dirty Dancing.
Yep.
Gotta love some Swayze.
Yep.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yes, one of my all-time favorites. I love this movie as a kid, and I love it still as an adult because it's actually an adult movie, not a kid's movie.
And it's the first movie you actually saw Toon Force.
The warnings on it are misogyny, assault, harassment, sexual harassment, references to racism and segregation.
But at the same point, you also saw the first movie that involved Toon Force.
Yes. Back to the Future.
Yep. Which one was your favorite?
My all-time favorite is 2.
Okay.
It is 2 because I love the depiction of the future, even though we're now 7 years past it and not even close.
Yes.
One of the warnings on this is sexual assault and incest. If you know, you know.
You know.
When Harry Met Sally.
Yes. Remember that.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yes.
I remember that.
I'll have what she's having. Star Wars.
Yep.
Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Breakfast Club. Top 5. We're in the top 5. Breakfast Club. Hell yes. Great movie. Awesome movie.
And that came up and shot me a little bit when I went to see it because I saw that in the theater and that kind of shot me a little bit because I didn't think it was going to be all that.
Never heard of
but my sister wanted to go see it, so we went to see it and it was pretty good.
Never heard of this movie, but it's called The Heathers.
Nope, I've never heard of that one either.
Number 4. Moonstruck, number 3. Also never heard of it. Number 2, My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, look at that, Will.
What?
You've seen that? That's a Studio Ghibli.
No, I don't remember seeing it.
You don't watch any Studio Ghibli Disney anime? Oh man, my ex-wife was huge into that. So I know very little about it other than like he's an amazing artist and like
I didn't get into
it's
I
so
didn't get into
great.
Disney till much later.
You should look into Studio Ghibli. And then number one, everybody's favorite Christmas movie, probably A Christmas Story. I don't like it. I don't understand everybody's infatuation with it.
I don't get it either, to be honest.
Did you
Ooh,
know they're
plant.
coming out? HBO Max is coming out with a reboot or sequel or something
Ooh,
or other.
planes, trains, and automobiles. Uncle Buck. There you go.
Man, there you go. There's
There
a
you
couple of
go.
ones that weren't on this list.
Yeah.
All right.
Full
We,
Metal Jacket wasn't on that list. Love
oh
Full,
yeah, yeah,
love Full
yeah.
Metal Jacket.
Um. Oh, what is another one? Oh shit.
We f-
Stripes. Stripes
we
with
forgot
Bill
48
Murray.
hours. We forgot 48 hours.
48 Hours. Stripes with Bill Murray was a great one. You said Full Metal Jacket. Uh, what else? Shit.
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
Crocodile Dundee. There you go. There you go. Love that too. Crikey. Try to do a bloody death roll. It's time to do a
What is
bloody death roll. Oh my goodness.
My
Let's do
Chrome
one.
decided it doesn't want to work at the moment for some
Uh-oh.
reason. I don't know why. It just
Uh-oh.
like froze up.
Oh, one more, then we'll move on to TV shows. The movie Big with Tom
Oh
Hanks.
man, yeah. Philadelphia. You got to talk
Yep.
about some Tom Hanks. Got to talk some Philadelphia.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Uh-oh. He might be going to reboot, guys. But as he goes to reboot, as Josie goes to reboot, let's go ahead and go over some of the popular 80s TV shows that you guys might recognize. And let's see. Let's start. Now, this one I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of. There we go. We got Josie back.
I'm back.
All right.
Sorry,
I moved on. I moved on to TV shows.
I figured.
Um,
I was
now,
I
now,
was going to
now,
see if I could pull up a list real quick. We
now,
need to.
now, now, one I wasn't a huge. It is a superhero movie to make it so bad, but it was more corny than anything else. You remember watching The Great American Hero?
Never saw it.
It was so. It was good, but at the same time, it was kind of corny.
I thought of one we forgot too.
What?
The Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
Arnold. I love that movie. It's so bad,
Yeah.
but it's so good.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, if you go back to TV shows,
Right.
and
So I
even
got-
though it's being remade right now or redone right now, Quantum Leap.
Oh yeah, I never watched it either. But Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula. 20 best 80s TV show for when you need nostalgia fix. So not 50. Should go faster this time.
Can we count Saturday Night Live in this?
I mean, it counts throughout the generation, I think, but I would say 80s, 90s is when it was at its heyday.
His heyday. Yeah. Another one that I love from back in the day. And it really kind of put him on the map. Remington Steele, Prince Brosnan, Stephanie Zimbalist. Very, very good NBC show.
All right. So, number 20, The Facts of Life. The Facts of Life. The Facts
I
of
don't care what
Life.
anybody said. Everybody had a crush. Hey, everybody loved Blair. Everybody.
Oh,
had a crush
yeah.
on
Hell
her.
yeah. Blair was
Everybody
so
had a
cute.
crush
But
on
I
her.
also had a Blair crush on the tomboy.
Oh, you talking about Joe?
Yeah, Joe. Yes.
Joe.
Joe was super cute.
Yep, Joe. Yep.
And I mean, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but the little cute little black girl,
Kim Fields.
Kim Fields.
Mm-hmm.
She got real cute as she got older.
Yeah.
Real cute. Cagney and Lacey.
Remember that? I remember that.
I
got one for you. Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
Was that an 80s? That was a 90s, wasn't it?
That
Or
was
was it
more.
one of
That was
those?
more 80. That was more 87, 88.
Was that more? It was on in the 90s too, because I watched it. Or maybe it was a reboot in the
Probably
2000s
reruns. Probably reruns.
or something.
Yep, yep.
WKPR in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Uh,
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
who's the boss?
Ooh, Alyssa Milano. Ooh,
Tony Danza. I mean, everybody
Alyssa
you know
Milano.
loves
Oh my
some
gosh,
Tony Danza.
young Alyssa. Judith Light too. Shout out to Judith Light. She had a. I don't know if she's still acting or not, but she had a long, illustrious career even after that show.
Talk about like one of the sexiest mans alive in the 80s. And that's some David Hasselhoff. Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
Three's Company. I love Three's Company. I love me some Three's Company. Suzanne Summers was gorgeous. Joyce DeWitt was gorgeous.
She was, but Joyce DeWitt was low key though. She was low key with.
She was low key. Joyce DeWitt is one of those actresses you feel like you're like, I could possibly get that.
Possibly.
I could possibly get that.
Yeah, yeah. Even though you wouldn't have a
When
chance.
it's Suzanne Summers, you're like, there's no fucking way.
Ain't no in the world I can see. I can't do it. I ain't got no angle.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Gotta love some MacGyver.
I'm gonna take this toothpick here.
I mean, the man literally has a verb after him now. MacGyvering.
Yep. I'm gonna take this toothpick right here and blow up the world.
Growing Pains.
Yep, remember Growing Pains. Yep.
Married with Children. Love and the Marriage.
Christina Applegate.
Supposedly this is coming back.
Christina Applegate. Shout out to Christina Applegate.
God, the outfit she wore in that show.
Oh my God.
And then we're going to talk about 90s movies here in a minute.
And then she took that role and even expanded upon that
in the 90s movies.
With the big head. I love the big head. Good movie.
Alf.
Yep.
Even though I heard there was some creeps on Alf.
Yeah.
Hill Street Blues.
Oh yeah.
18.
I didn't watch it. 18. I didn't watch much of Hill Street, but 18, heck yeah.
18. Family Ties. Michael J. Fox's launching pad.
Shout out to Michael J. Fox fighting what he's going through right now.
Oh my God. Did you see that reunion between him and
the professor from Back to the Future? Yeah.
Or not Christopher Brown, it's Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah.
It was so touching. And then I watched an interview he did on the E the other day, and yeah, it's tough to watch. He's still pretty. I was impressed though, with as shaky as he was in that interview with Christopher Lloyd. He was pretty able to get through with that interview. Like it was impressive. Dallas.
Yeah. Who shot JR?
All of Dallas. Who shot JR?
Who shot JR?
Literally everybody in the whole world. A whopping 76% of all TV viewers. That's probably still a record today.
Probably still a record.
90 million Americans tuned in to find out who shot JR.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Matlock.
Night Court. Number 5 is Night Court.
Yeah.
Miami Vice is number 4. Cheers is number 3. You got to agree. Cheers is probably like top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
Where everybody knows your name.
Didn't that get us? Oh, and that spun off into what? Kramer, yeah.
Fraser.
Yeah, it's spun off to Kramer. Yeah.
Niles Kramer, or it's Fraser Kramer, but it's spun off into Fraser.
Yeah.
The Wonder Years. Talk about iconic television.
Yeah.
And have you watched any of the reboot on Disney?
No.
It's an African American family this time. I watched the first couple of episodes. It's interesting, and I think it's based in the 80s now.
Okay.
Number 1, I don't think anybody can argue against this, and that is the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, you can't argue that.
I mean, it is iconic television. one of the best of all time. There's nothing that can be said about that show. I mean, literally launched the career of one of the greatest in Betty White. And yeah.
One show I saw kind of shot that wasn't on the list, and yes, I'm not agreeing with anything that he did currently, but back then I gotta give the man credit. The one show you didn't mention was the Cosby Show.
That's probably exactly why you said it, is why I didn't get on it.
Mm-hmm. And like
And
I said,
that's
I
just
don't
Cosby.
condone what he, what he
I could.
allegedly did. We have to be careful, but in allegedly did. But in terms of the show was groundbreaking because a black family had never been introduced like
Prominent,
that before.
like and mostly like 98% black cast in general. And
Mm-hmm.
it didn't just go to that. Like a lot of the crew was
Mm-hmm.
also.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
that's amazing.
All right,
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we
you thought
will.
about it. We have no ads to run. This isn't our network.
Oh, okay. We were talking about it, and I kind of like remembered in my head, and like, oh man, I forgot. So
I
we're gonna go.
told, yeah.
So we're gonna move right. So we're gonna move right into the '90s, guys. And the '90s were you were around and watched most of those shows.
I mean, are we doing we're doing 90s movies first? So
Yes, '90s
this
movies
is
first. You saw most of those shows and movies. What were some of the ones that stood out?
this is where we're really going to get into what I remember as we get into the later 90s. So I found a list, but it's not necessarily like ranked as it is. Okay. So I'm just going to go through it and name the ones that stick out to me. Titanic,
Oh heck yeah!
still all one of my all-time favorite movie. Nominated for 14 Oscars, took home 11. First film to ever break $1 billion at a box office.
I
At
thought it was gonna
least
suck at first.
the
I thought
theme
it was gonna.
song is still in rotation, at least at karaoke bars.
I thought it was gonna suck at first, but
Oh,
then but my ex-wife taught me to watch it. It was pretty good.
Winslet and DiCaprio, and then James Cameron's attention to detail.
Mhm.
Like, you believe that these two could have been on Titanic very
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
Shawshank,
Shawshank
one of the
Redemption.
all-time most underrated movies of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it on the first incarnation of the show, and I'm sure we'll do a whole episode about it at some point.
Oh yeah.
In one of the greatest years in cinema history, and that is 1994. And I say that because in 1994, you get Shawshank Redemption, you get Forrest Gump, you get Jurassic Park, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. There's so many just blockbuster movies that came out in 1994. It is literally mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
But this movie, because of Forrest Gump, did not get the acclaim it probably should have. It earned 7 Oscar nominations, but didn't get any because it was up against
Forrest Gump. Mm-hmm.
I love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. I watch it all the time. Tim Robbins is amazing in it. Morgan Freeman, like, when is he never? Mwah, chef's kiss.
We don't want you. We just want the money. That's the greatest gold digger motto ever. We don't want you. We just want the money.
That whole fresh fish.
Yeah.
The Schindler's List. Oh. Sorry,
I only saw that one time.
I've never seen it. Edward Scissorhands, Johnny
Yeah,
Depp,
yeah.
Johnny Depp, original. Oh, one of my favorites. Friday.
Yeah.
You did not put in on this man. Here between Harmony and Weston, we call this 20 I can quote that entire movie.
How you got peanut butter and no jelly?
Y'all always got
ham,
peanut butter, no jelly, ham, no burger, Kool-Aid, no
ham, no
sugar.
burger. Oh, Kool-Aid, no sugar.
Yeah, great movie. I'm hoping happens very soon. All-time favorite. Oh, such a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Clueless.
I'm about to say that. I just about to say that.
This movie. Like
I'm just about to say that.
my little trans little
You know what
fem
though?
cells. I
That
love this. I mean, I know some straight up masculine men that love that movie. So
think about it. The thing about Clueless, it brought up two, because you got Alicia Silverstone,
yeah,
Stacey Dash,
yeah.
who some reason her career went left, but whatever. But
And
Alicia
then
Silverstone is still cool.
who was her best friend in Alicia
Brittany Murphy.
Silverstone's Bell Trips? Yeah,
Rest in peace.
huge. Woo.
Rest in peace, Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy played the little dorky girl
She,
they
she
made
played,
over.
yeah. Rest in
Next
peace,
one came up. We were talking about Wes Craven. Scream.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Scream. Great movie. Great movie. Oh my god, so many
Natural Born
90s
Killers.
movies that I'm telling you, I'm just such a 90s little freak. I love
Natural Born
Dazed
Killers.
and Confused.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey. Literally the only person that got any fame other than Slater, the guy who played Slater.
Let me say one
Ben
real
Affleck.
quick. Let me say one real quick, and some of y'all might agree, some of y'all might not, because it's like right on the anticipus of 2000. But I'm gonna say it anyway because I loved it. South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
Oh my god, yes, I love that movie.
Now it's 99.
She's the biggest bitch in the whole world.
Now it's 1999, but I guess doggone that movie was great. Operation Get Behind the Darkies, I was cracking up.
So you know that movie, and I don't think it still has it, but at one point hold the record for most curse words in a feature-length film.
Mm-hmm.
And Dazed and Confused launched the careers of Parker Posey, Mila Jovovich, Ben Affleck, and Matthew McConaughey.
Dang. That's a lot of people to launch.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Pulp Fiction.
Starship Troopers.
Talk about B-movie greatness. B-movie greatness. That's one of my favorite bad movies. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad.
It was a terrible movie, but it was a good terrible movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's so bad. It's so good.
Shout out to Denise Richards. It's
literally giant bugs.
Shout out to Denise Richards, by the way.
Yeah, literally her and Neil Patrick Harris, the only two people that got fame from that movie.
Yep, the only two.
They weren't already famous.
Right.
Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Hey, don't forget Lion King. Don't forget Lion King.
I'm trying to kill myself.
Don't kill yourself on the show now. We ain't got workman's comp. Anyway,
Boys in the Hood.
Lion King.
Boys in the Hood.
Yep.
Another favorite movie, 90s movie. Talk about like iconic. De Niro, Pesci, Leota, Goodfellas.
Yep.
One of my all-time favorite gangster movies.
I mean, kind of mad because they got your boy. They got Pesci in that movie. Dang.
Yeah, they did. Pesci dies.
Dang, they got him in that one. Dang.
Pretty Woman.
Yep, Pretty Woman. Yep.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
Jurassic Park. Good Will Hunting.
Jurassic Park is still kicking to this day.
I mean, this last one was supposed to be the end, like the real end. Fight Club.
Ooh.
The number one rule of Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club.
Fight Club, exactly.
Cult classic right there. I mean, Brad Pitt and my boy, and Edward Norton. Oh, love Edward Norton.
All right, real quick. We have 15 minutes left. Let's go into our last set.
We still got time.
90s TV shows to watch right now.
Hang on. We still got a couple of minutes. There's a couple of good ones still on this list. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
All right. Parent Trap.
Yeah.
And that was the last one.
Okay. I like Parent Trap though. It's cool.
All right. Anything we missed on the 90s movies? And guys, we're gonna get out of this habit of just like listing shit. We're gonna start talking about stuff, but like these topics, they're just so juicy. There's just so much.
So much to dive into.
And if we're talking about 90s movies, we got to start off with the icon or 90s TV shows. We got to start off where the iconic 90s lives, and that is TGIF.
Thank God it's Friday.
And that is Full House. That is Step by Step. Boy Meets World. There's another one I'm missing Family Matters.
Yeah.
Talk about iconic. And let me use this as a little plug here for a second. Me and Will were having a conversation. Come February, we are going to talk about we're going to spend a whole month talking about iconic shows, movies, maybe even music. We haven't really discussed, but shows and movies of the culture.
Yes.
And Will, I'll let you go more into this and what we're going to be discussing.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at Black History for Black History Month. We're going to be taking a look at Black History entertainment, Black History movies, Black History TV shows, stuff like The Fresh Prince, Family Matters, Wildin' Out, stuff like that. So definitely be around for that. That's going
to be a really fun one. I'm really excited for that. We're going to hopefully have some partnerships and some things for that. So it's going to be, we might, we're definitely going to be, me and Will got to figure out what it's going to be, but we're going to do a watch party. We're going to watch a movie, at least one or two movies, and maybe a couple of TV shows during that month. So, got some big plans for that. So stay tuned for that. But Family Matters. Did you watch Boy Meets World? Watch Boy Meets World? You bitch.
I'm terrible.
Love that show. I'm listening to the podcast right now, and it's so amazing. It's Will Friedle, who plays Eric in the show, Ryder Strong, who is Sean, and Danielle Fishel, who is Topanga. And it is
Topanga. She put in a 90s pack.
That's one of my 90s crushes.
Put that 90s pack, boy. Topanga. Old girl from Saved by the Bell.
So Saved by the Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Saved by the Bell. One of my all-time favorite TV shows. Literally, Zach Morris to me back in the day was God. I realize he's a jerk, but he was God.
Slater, Kelly.
I mean, a lot of people that are still working today. Thiessen still working. Mario Lopez still working. Zach still working. Screech no longer with us. Rest in peace.
Yep. Lark Voorhees was. I don't think she is anymore.
I don't think she is anymore.
Yeah.
And then you haven't seen anything from Jessie in a while. From
not because last time I saw something from her was in Showgirls.
And that was 80s, 90s.
That was 80s, 90s. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was like during or before or after, like right after, which would have been early 90s, mid 90s.
And then didn't she do the reboot too?
Yes, they all did the reboot.
I think they all did the reboot.
Screech.
Yeah.
I didn't watch not any of that. It did not appeal to me. As big a fan as I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any interest.
Sometimes the remake just didn't capture that same magic of the original. But you can look at that in a lot of things. Seinfeld,
you mentioned Frasier. Just because it comes up and we're wrestling guys, we got to mention WCW Nitro, Monday Night Raw, and ECW in the 90s, because that was the heyday of professional wrestling.
That's the heyday of it.
Heyday of professional wrestling. So it's got to be mentioned, because 96 to 99, professional wrestling was never popular. Never more popular.
Will and Grace, and I say Will and Grace because I'm a huge Deborah Messing fan. Huge Deborah Messing.
Really?
Fan. Yes. Oh my gosh, man, she was bad.
All right, so I found a top 35 list.
We already talked about Family Matters.
We've already said Full House. Living Single.
Yep.
The original run of Futurama started in 99.
Don't forget Friends.
Charmed. 98.
I love the original Charm. The original Charm was awesome. That new one that it came out with, straight trash.
It was
But
so pretty.
but the
Oh my
original,
god.
but the original, what the original Tron was great. I liked it up until Rose McGowan was in it. When Rose McGowan got in there, I wasn't a big, huge Rose McGowan fan. I kind of missed Shannon Doherty, but when she got up in there, I thought it took a step back for me. But when it was the original three, um, yeah, you can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Dawson's Creek,
Can't beat that. Mm-mm.
Felicity.
The
My
nanny.
man, one of my favorite TV writers went on from this to write West Wing, and that is Sports Night, Aaron Sorkin.
Yep, yep.
I haven't watched a lot of this, but everybody I know who has said it's amazing.
Hanging.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Don't forget hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Ally
Cooper.
McBeal,
Mr. Cooper.
Daria.
You
Everybody
know
loves
what? I
Raymond.
was never really an Ally McBeal fan. I wasn't a fan of hers until after that show was over and she did Supergirl. Then I went back and watched some more Ally McBeal. It was like,
Everybody loves Raymond.
yeah. Sex in the City.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
That was good.
Did you watch the remake at all?
No, I didn't watch the remake.
Third Rock from the Sun.
That was good.
News Radio.
Yeah.
Party of Five.
Yep. Kenny and Kale.
Ellen.
Orange
The
Soda.
original Ellen DeGeneres Show.
Yep.
My So-Called Life.
Twin Peaks.
South Park, number 18.
Oh, one you this one you go. I know you're gonna remember this one. Beverly Hills 90210.
Didn't watch it.
What?
Didn't watch it.
What?
I was too young for that at that time.
Oh,
You got to
yeah,
remember,
Gabrielle
that's there, and I'm
Carteris.
only like 7 or 8, 9.
Shannon Doherty and Gabrielle Carter.
Freaks and
Oh,
Geeks. Freaks and Geeks.
yeah, I remember that.
That 70s show. Talk about iconic 90s, 2000 television right there.
Mm.
And the director, the guy who directed every episode of that show, David Traynor, directed the first 2 episodes of Boy Meets World. Or first 2 seasons.
Right.
Frasier. You mentioned Frasier.
Yeah, forget Frasier, yeah.
Frasier is number 15. Boy Meets World, number 14. The Nanny, number 13.
Remember the Nanny? I remember the Nanny. You remember? Did you ever watch West Wing?
Oh, that's what I'm just... we're going to get to it. I know it's probably like top 3 on this list.
Okay.
Will and Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Martin.
Yep, Martin. From then to now, we still don't know what job Tommy had.
Law and Order.
Yep.
Just brought that back.
20.
Beverly
Man, that thing's
Hills.
been on forever.
Beverly Hills 90210, like you said.
Yeah, there you
Friends,
go.
like you said. Number 8 is Friends.
Shannon Doherty, Gabrielle
Number
Carteris,
7,
boy.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
6, Sex in the City. Will has named most of the... Here's top 5 that Will hasn't named yet. X-Files. I'm surprised he hadn't named that. Number 4, Sopranos.
I wasn't really a fan of either one of those shows.
I didn't watch Sopranos. I started to watch it back a couple of years ago, and then my cousin told me how it ended, and I was just like, "Yep, nope."
Now you done ruined it for me.
The Simpsons. I mean, literally iconic television, still running. The top line in this says, "The longer it continues to air, the less The Simpsons seems to belong to any particular era."
Yep.
2, number 2, Seinfeld. Number 1, what the fucking shit that this is not. Okay, yeah, now we're talking about it. West Wing is not on this list. This is bullcrap.
That's crazy.
Bullcrap. West Wing is not only one of the greatest shows of the 90s, it's literally been ranked as one of the best shows of all time. Yep. Political drama. I have watched it probably beginning to end, like episode 1 to the last episode in the series 15, 20 times. I love that show. It is absolutely amazing. I am also a political nut, and it lives in a world where Republicans and Democrats are actually sane and willing to work together, and I don't know what that is anymore. So I live in it just like, I'm like, oh, why couldn't this be real life?
We have a few extra minutes. I want to bring up some more shows real quick from from the 90s that we haven't mentioned yet.
But no, hang on, because you brought it up to me. I
Mhm.
didn't know. Have you watched West Wing?
Yes.
Do you? I didn't know you had seen that, dude.
Yes.
That's literally one of my
I
favorite.
didn't watch a whole lot of it, but I've seen it.
Dude, you should check it out. One of my favorite TV shows of all time.
A
Literally, so good, and it's still relevant to this day.
couple of shows we didn't talk about that I thought that should have been in there. Blossom,
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but know of it.
all that.
Oh man, this is all that.
Another
Oh,
another
Keenan
one.
and Kel.
Yeah, we talked. I mentioned Kenny and Kel.
You did.
Clarissa
I didn't
explains
hear
it
you
all.
mention.
Clarissa explained it all was good.
Clarissa explained it all. Yeah. If we mention Keenan and Kel, we gotta say, "Who loves orange soda? Who loves orange soda? Is it true?
now we mentioned this show once
I
before.
do. I do. I do. Don't try and
Now
cut
we
me
did
off.
mention this show. I think I think the first episode. And we finally got clarity on it. But back then, Hey Arnold.
Oh God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Move it, football head.
Yep. A show that saw Tia and Tamara sort of kind of come to rise a little bit in Sister.
Love that show. That was one of my favorite shows.
Did you care for Moesha?
I didn't watch
See,
Moesha
I wasn't.
really.
I watched it, but I wasn't a big. And I'm one of the few people who wasn't a Brandy fan. Still not a big Brandy fan. Um,
I
but
like her
Moesha was some.
music.
Yeah, Moesha
I
was
like her
good.
music more than I think. I didn't watch a lot of Moesha.
Mm.
Um, you talked about Tia and Tamara, and I'm not sure if this was '90s or early 2000s, but their little brother in "He's a Smart
Oh
Guy,
yeah, I think
Smart
that was 2000s
Guy."
though.
I think that was like 2001.
And a show that no one really talked about, that we didn't talk about here, but now that I look at it, it fits. Power Rangers.
Oh my God, yes, iconic '90s television right there. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of the
That was
most.
before Disney got a hell. That was before Disney got a hold of it. Um,
Did you like the remake a few years ago?
no,
It was too long.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
too like they could have cut out like the first hour really.
And it took too long for them to transform. We didn't
Yeah,
see them
it was
transform
like
like the
yeah, the
end.
last like 30-40 minutes is when you actually get the Power Ranger. I'm like, oh my God, this is taking forever.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
why is this movie 2 hours long?
yeah. All right, you guys, before we go ahead and clear out for tonight, I want to say thank you for everybody who came and joined us tonight here on A Really Good Podcast. Don't forget, you can find this show as well as all of our other shows on the GNN podcast page over on podbean.com. Don't forget that. And Josie, before we get here, do you have anything you want to close out with tonight?
Is there any movies that I want to talk about real quick? Or no, not that I can think of. I'm rewatching. Have you watched Yellowstone at all?
No.
I'm watching 1983 right now, and I'm telling
Heard
you,
of
man,
it, but I've never seen it.
man, the 1983, which is the story of kind of how they got their land in the beginning, like coming on the Oregon Trail and how they ended up there.
Mm.
It's really interesting, and they showed like that life and how difficult that trail was, and it was really done well. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill play husband and wife in it, and it's so good, such a good movie.
All
Or
right, you
TV
guys.
show.
I want to say thank you once again for joining us here on A Really Good Podcast. And like I say, don't forget this show as well as our other shows, MCU Mondays, Cantina Happy Hour, Captain's Logs and Lightsabers, lightsabers will all be on our podcast page on our podbean.com under Geek News Now. And if there's nothing else, Josie, thank you for being here. And we'll see you guys next week right here on the Geek News Now YouTube channel for a Really Good Podcast. Everyone have a great week and take care.